I'm asking for answers. That is it. That is all. Never ask for special treatment, none of that. But there are just a lot of people who's bothered. But what I will tell you is that there are a lot more people who, despite the nasty negative narratives that are trying to be thrown out there, there's a lot of other people supporting me and my husband Elmore. I don't know if that's even a good way to describe this hurt, but yeah. But I just want to say thank you guys. Like, I'm telling y'all, like, thank you so much. Thank you to all the content creators.
Nolan Wells Parents recently met with the Mississippi DA, and it was a very respectful meeting. They was on their best behavior, so I don't even know why they hired Ben Crump, because the DA let the world know Nolan's case is gonna stay sealed regardless of how y'all feel about it.
As District Attorney for the 19th Circuit Court District of Mississippi, every death in the county except those of natural causes and non-criminal car wrecks are presented to your grand jury. Many people don't know that. Nolan's case is being handled the same way, with the same care and the same commitment to the truth that we handle all death investigations.
She letting y'all know Nolan can't skip the line because he dead. He gotta wait in line with everybody else.
Every piece of evidence must be examined. Every credible lead must be followed to its conclusion. Every witness interview must be analyzed in context of all other evidence.
They not worried about no pressure, no protesting, no blogs or nothing. She had to smirk about it.
The pressure for answers does not change what the work requires.
For all the people out there talking about justice for Nolan Wells, according to her, y'all better off just shutting up and waiting.
Our responsibility to Nolan and our community is to complete this investigation thoroughly, carefully, without compromise, supported by the evidence and worthy of the confidence of the people we serve. I also understand that many people have questions about why more information has not been released publicly. In Mississippi, the rules of professional conduct restrict the information a prosecutor can release during an investigation.
She talking about ain't nobody supposed to know nothing, but it sound like Como and them know a whole lot.
But that's because of all the layers that have been put on top of the unknown, in my assessment. Now, I am hearing from sources that I will protect close to the investigation that the investigators do have more information from their autopsy, not the autopsy, the secondary one that was done by the family and their agents and representatives, which was, of course, going to be less conclusive, less helpful, frankly, than the initial one, because certain things were removed and kept for later investigation, which is very normal. The suggestion that they took things and hid them so the family couldn't find things out, I see no basis for that. And certainly autopsies regularly collect tissue samples and other parts of the body for examination. You have also heard that they know things about the first autopsy.
Yeah, so what I've tried to do is not to increase or worsen a speculative environment. There are things that I know that I think the average person doesn't know.
I think there are things that I know that the average person doesn't know that are not points of speculation. One, that they found now, and again, this could cut three different ways. They found evidence of water in tissue and cavities consistent with drowning. However, the body was also
Sound like Como and them know a whole lot more than everybody else. And it's a shame because Nolan mother's looking for answers. And there's people that don't even live in Mississippi knowing exactly what's going on. They all stand on code. They know what happened, who lying, who telling the truth, who putting on for the cameras. Most importantly, they know where the money going. Everybody getting paid. And it's looking like Nolan Wells' mother may never know what really happened to her son.
Nolan Wells, it gets worse for District Attorney Angel Myers McIlrath. Yesterday, I did a post on this as a former person who had her position as the district attorney, indicating that she needed to give basic information. For example, what was the agreement with this phone? You just can't let the family have one point of view and you not get out there because you're saying that your ethics rules prevent you from speaking about the case. Hold on. I don't know. Maybe she was watching the video because I said she was leaving a big void and having the public argue over things, and that she should get out there and let us know without compromising the investigation. And what does she do? She doubles down yesterday and makes a statement that she would, quote, be stepping outside of the bounds of the law if I were to fill that void, use the very same word, and share information publicly, end quote. Hold on. She said it would violate her oath and she wasn't going to do that. Now, that is not accurate. And so, just so that we can be clear, given the fact that usually these rules are pretty similar from state to state, and I did this, I didn't say you have to reveal any investigative information from the grand jury whatsoever. Quite the opposite. Go to my other videos or my long form video that I'll do here on YouTube and you could check out. I agree. Keep those proceedings secret. That's the way they're meant to be. But, DA, you forced me to go look at Mississippi ethics rules so that we could properly educate the public. And this is Mississippi Rule 13:5, persons authorized to present during grand jury secrecy. And I'm going to put it a little up here. Let's read along here. No attorney general, district attorney, which is what you are, county attorney, they have other people, shall announce to any unauthorized person, listen carefully, DA, what the grand jury will consider in its deliberations. If such information is disclosed, it's a violation of the order. What they're going to talk about in their deliberations. Hold on. So nothing prevents you from, as we can see here, talking about what the agreement about the funds was. Did you make an agreement or didn't you make the agreement? You can't let the family just have it one way. Otherwise, what they're saying, I'm going to accept as being the truth unless you state otherwise. Number two, they want to know, why aren't all the body parts sent to the independent medical examiner? Now, I understand why based on investigation, but you need to inform and educate the public. That does not get into the deliberations of the grand jury whatsoever. It's common sense, basic stuff that's done each and every day. What are the time frames that are going to happen here, and what can we expect? And also, what about the hours of work, the number of witnesses interviewed, things done generally in the investigation? None of that, district attorney, violates the rule that says, and I'll read it again, discussing things that the grand jury will consider in its deliberations. You're just talking about what happened in the investigation. Like, share and follow for more.
You mean to tell me she talking all this talk about having restraint when she really don't even have none?
Our restraint in communicating facts and evidence is not an effort to keep the truth from the public. It is an effort to protect the integrity of this investigation in the grand jury proceeding. As your district attorney, I have an ethical obligation to avoid public statements that could influence witnesses, prejudice a proceeding, or compromise the fairness of the legal process. My obligation extends to and requires me to use reasonable care to ensure investigating agencies avoid making those statements and releasing information as well. These rules exist to protect the search for the truth, not to prevent it. As divided as the discussion surrounding Nolan's death has become, I know we all want the same thing, to understand what happened to Nolan. With that being our shared goal, we must also share in the goal of protecting the integrity of how the truth is discovered. If we sacrifice the integrity of the process in effort to satisfy today's questions, we risk undermining the confidence in tomorrow's answers. When the public asks, what about this, or have they looked at that, or did they think about this? The answer is yes. Those are the same questions investigators ask. The difference is that we can't publicly discuss the evidence, the interviews, or what those efforts have uncovered while the investigation is underway. Again, our restraint in sharing details of the investigation is not a refusal to share the truth. It is our commitment to protect the process that allows the truth to be known with confidence.
Everybody not keeping it real when it come to this young man's death. What's so wrong with getting him justice? He just turned 19, and his friends, whatever they did, they gonna have to pay for their crimes one way or another. It would be easier if they just convicted them if they did kill Nolan Wells. Cause the road is not gonna get easier, depending on how much support they get. They already raised close to $1 million. Life probably better now that Nolan not around, to keep it real with y'all, and that's sad. Nolan's parents want to get paid. They better figure out what happened or drop a big bag in their bank accounts. That's the only way this situation gonna go away is when the parents get paid. There's a bunch of people talking about this district attorney. They saying that she worse than Kamala Harris.
I had the unfortunate experience of meeting the DA, McIlrath, back in 2019 when I was a partner with the Cochran firm. And Toussaint Diamond Sims was killed by a Morris Point Police Department officer on August the 8th, 2019. It was caught on video. There were several witnesses that said that young man had nothing in his hands when he was shot 5 times in the back by that Morris Point cop. 5 times in the back, nothing in his hands. DA McIlrath presented all that evidence, overwhelming evidence, and she still could not secure an indictment of that officer in Jackson County. So before everybody goes and starts singing her praises, let's make sure she's not going to do another sham presentation to the grand jury. And we know that you can present things to various grand juries until you get an indictment. It's mighty funny that the regular saying is you can indict a ham sandwich. With all that evidence, after someone was killed in 2019, and I happened to represent the family at that time as a partner in the Cochran firm, and I met with her as well as the family, similar to what happened today, so I've been through that process with her. She will offer you sweet tea. She's a nice, good Southern belle, but can she get you justice? We're not going to sleep on you, Angel, excuse me. We're not going to sleep on you. This time, we expect you to present the evidence in a manner like you present it in other situations that you can secure an indictment or indictments. I do know you don't have to be indicted for anything to be arrested. All of this evidence is out there now. It should have been presented to a judge by now. Some of it for probable cause to make some arrest. Some of it to get the search warrants. I am not about any dilatory tactics. You're not going to punt the ball and put it on the grand jury. Certain folks need to be arrested now if there's so much evidence. Evidently, there's enough evidence for the FBI to now be involved. Evidently, there's enough evidence now for the DA to announce that she's going to present things to the grand jury. There's nothing to present to a grand jury if there's an accidental drowning.
Although everybody and their mama got something bad to say about the Mississippi district attorney, she's pushing back and letting people know y'all can't talk about me any old kind of way. That's why I gotta let y'all know 90% of this video is satire, comedy, and jokes. I know that lady don't play no games because she shut down the entire internet when she did her pushback. People didn't know she had that much power. Matter of fact, everybody in the comment section, y'all need to be apologizing to this lady, or else y'all could possibly have some repercussions.
We do come on the air with breaking news tonight in the death investigation of Nolan Wells. The Jackson County District Attorney is pushing back after coming under fire from the teen's family's legal team. DA Angel McIlrath released a new statement tonight. She says she's limited by law in what she can say publicly about the active investigation. She can't discuss witness cooperation, evidence testing, or what information has been verified. She also warned the public not to assume everything being said online is true, saying, quote, "The fact that something is said doesn't necessarily mean it's actually true." The statement comes after attorneys for Wells' family accused the DA's office of not cooperating in good faith. This dispute has centered in part on the forensic examination of Nolan's phone. His family's legal team says they have not refused to cooperate, and they say they're ready to make the phone available for a joint forensic analysis. McIlrath says her office's focus is on presenting a thorough, complete, and fair investigation to a grand jury. Meantime, a national prayer rally honoring Wells will be held tomorrow on what would have been his 19th birthday. That gathering set to begin at 7 tomorrow night at Greater St. John AME Church in Biloxi. Wells' family, faith, and community leaders plan to be there to call for justice, truth, and transparency.
Nolan recently had a birthday, and hearing them talk about it on the news really make me sad. He could have been 19 years old on his way to college, and whatever happened, it took his life. and he definitely needs justice. That's why we all need to pray about this.
Tomorrow would have been Nolan Wells' 19th birthday. The teen died on a 4th of July weekend trip near Mississippi's Horn Island. Loved ones, community members, and church leaders from across the country will meet in Biloxi, Mississippi tomorrow to celebrate and remember Wells with a prayer rally. One Metro Atlanta pastor will be there, and Fox 5's Larry Spruill spoke with that pastor. He joins us live in Midtown. Larry?
And good evening, Courtney. Pastor Jamal Bryant tells me he will be the main speaker for tomorrow's event. Now, he also says this is a celebration, yes, but most importantly, it's a nationwide call for action.
Regrettably and painstakingly so, August 19th should be Nolan Wells' 19th birthday.
Pastor Jamal Bryant, senior pastor of Newburgh Missionary Baptist Church, says that reality is slowly settling in for friends and family members of Nolan Wells. Nolan Wells' body was found face down in the water off the shoreline of Horn Island in Mississippi on July 6th. But the circumstances behind his death are raising questions nationwide.
It's a heart-wrenching moment for his parents, for the family, for the community, that this young man who was right on the beginning of a bright future had it snatched, and we still don't have any answers.
Last week, Nolan Wells' parents spoke at the National Association of Black Journalists conference here in Atlanta, but Bryant says it does not stop there. That's why Wednesday, many from all over will meet in Biloxi, Mississippi for what they call a nationwide call for action. Bryant will be the main speaker.
We're going to Biloxi, Mississippi as a day of prayer, a day of consolation, and a day of affirmation. We're 45 days out. No arrest, no announce of a person of interest. Still questions about the other people who were on the boat, question about autopsy, questions about the judge. The governor seems to be partial against outsiders. So this is really a drama unfolding right before our very eyes.
The family and their attorney have called for a full and transparent federal investigation into Wells' death.
Now, the DA in this case just released a statement earlier tonight. It does say, in part, my obligation and commitment is to present the grand jury with all evidence collected in this case in order for them to reach a decision based on a thorough investigation, complete evidence presentation, the actual truth, and an understanding of the law. I am obligated to do so in keeping with the law and the rules of the court. Now, I also did ask Pastor Brian why did he feel the need to get involved. I'm working on that part of the story. All new tonight at 11. We're live in Midtown Atlanta. I'm Larry Spruill, Fox 5.
People accusing Nolan's parents of going Hollywood. His father getting all R&B with it. His mother got a joke or two to crack on TV. It's sort of like they getting comfortable.
Christine Wells Wansley and Elmore Wansley. They're joined by family attorney Ben Crump. Thank you all so much for joining us today. Christine, give us a sense of what the hardest part of today is.
Not having him here, not being able to FaceTime him and sing my horrible happy birthday song. Just him not being here with us.
Elmore, how are you remembering your son on this day? Not so much for how he died, because we still don't know that, but for how he lived.
Just the joy that he brought to our family. Just watching old videos and just reading old messages. Just memories of conversations, of wrestling matches, me chasing them around the house, stuff like that. That really helps with the entire situation. Thinking about the good times.
Why was it important for you all to do these vigils and honor Nolan in this way on his birthday?
To make sure that his story stays alive, for people to understand, too, that it's okay to want to ask questions, want to make sure that you know the truth of what happened, but most importantly, just keeping his legacy alive.
Any idea how Nolan would have celebrated his 19th birthday?
He would have been at school, so of course we would not have been able to see him until the weekend. So I'm sure he would have gone to football practice, had class, and probably been like, "Hey, Ma, hey, Dad, send me some money so I can go get some actual food."
Yes.
Ben, want to bring you in here. So where do things stand now in the investigation?
Well, right now we're still seeking answers. I know we're trying to work collaboratively with the district attorney's office. Obviously, the Congressional Black Caucus has asked for the FBI to open an investigation. But, we're celebrating Nolan's birthday, what would have been his 19th birthday. Over a month has passed since his tragic death, and still we don't have the answers to what happened to Nolan Wells.
You've criticized the local authorities' handling of the case, emphasizing the need for transparency. The Jackson County District Attorney released a statement yesterday following public criticism of the DA's office and an investigation of the case, saying in part, public commentary does not make the speaker transparent, just like exercising restraint consistent with the law does not make the process corrupt. The fact that something is said does not necessarily mean it's actually true. What's your response to that?
Well, we've never criticized the district attorney's office. We obviously share with Nolan's parents and his family the question, will we get a full, fair, and transparent investigation in the death of Nolan Wells? Obviously, people are concerned all across America. Can we get a full, fair, transparent investigation? Isn't that what everybody would want if this was their child, to know that their child life is going to be treated as important as any other person's life? And that's what we're fighting for.
Ben, you've mentioned the importance of federal resources. Have you received that?
We haven't gotten an answer to that yet.
Christine and Elmore, what has the community response been like?
So far, it's been very positive. We are so grateful for our community. A lot of people are, showing us a lot of love, especially when we're out in public. So for those of you who are standing behind us, beside us, in support of us, I just want to say thank you to everyone.
Do the police regularly give you updates?
Well, we've been working. I'll say that. We've been engaging with the district attorney's office. And I will say this, Lindsay, that we are still on his birthday asking for the public to continue to share with us photographs, videos, and any kind of things they witnessed out there. We are still trying to get to the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. We want to know what happened to Nolan Wells. Wouldn't that be a great birthday present if people came forward and said, I'm going to tell what I saw? Because we always have said from day one, somebody knows something. Somebody saw something.
And Christine and Elmore, have you heard from any of the young men who your son was out with that day?
We won't get into that.
Before y'all get sad, before y'all start to cry, you never know. Justice for Nolan Wells might come right on time. Justice for Nolan might come on Christmas. Wouldn't that be a good day? You wake up to open up all your toys. Got that baked macaroni and cheese stanking up the house. Got them turkey legs on, dressing, candy yams, mashed potato, potato salad, baked beans, deviled eggs, cranberry sauce for the stuffing. Justice for Nolan Wells need to come tonight, but it might just come on Christmas. And I'm sitting over here chuckling to myself because I know the boys gonna have to pay, because they sitting up there lying. They need to tell the truth, because y'all know, like I know, the truth shall set you free. As far as people disrespecting Nolan Wells' parents, they doing the best they can. Rest in peace to Nolan. And the district attorney gonna have to come out and say something, because everybody know what's going on, except for the people. Because the people gonna take that information and turn it into a blog, and justice will never come for Nolan. People will turn Nolan to a cartoon character, and when it's time for them to go to court, they gonna be too busy laughing at the latest episode of Nolan Wells. It's sick. Y'all need to mind y'all business. The district attorney know that. That's why they ain't putting nothing out there, because they know y'all a bunch of chatty patties. If y'all really knew what happened to Nolan Wells, it's a possibility his mama will be locked up, his daddy be locked up. They out there living like the Ozark on Horn Island. Y'all know when the deal go bad, somebody got to go. I ain't saying that's what happened, but I wouldn't be surprised. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about this in the comment section, man. I got so much love for y'all. And one more thing before I go.
Subscribe to my channel if that's what you want. But if that's not what you like, then you must be a punk. Hold on now, here we go. Who is this girl? She got that junk in her trunk. Baby girl, back it up, poke out your rump. It's S.A.T that you want.